Hello and welcome to the Comicspiracy, episode 354 for the week of May 8th, 2018. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Jim Jokisch.
Cool.
The headbutting giraffe, Bryce.
And Charlie.
That's sure an intro. So, Jim, tell us all about your giraffe facts. Got some hot giraffe facts.
Got some
here.
hot giraffe facts?
Oh,
Let's see.
New category for the podcast.
It only comes up because we see Bryce headbutting the wall all the time. So
No, I was going to headbutt some of you motherfuckers, but I just recently learned that giraffes can actually defend themselves by headbutting their opponents, which I did not know about before. But apparently Jim is quite privy to the laws of Darwinian giraffe defensivism.
Well, what else? What else would they use? They have to do. They don't have guns or anything
As
like
I
that.
said before you hit record,
They
I
can
literally
kick 'em.
thought they just died. I did not know that there was any defensive mechanism beholden to them. I mean, run away, like hide in a spotted field. I don't know what is. What does a giraffe
Those
do?
tall orange trees.
Like I thought that when they would headbutt, that would like break their necks, but apparently they use that to their advantage, like a whip or something.
Yeah.
See that?
Hey, whip it real good.
and elephants. And when the giraffes sleep, the elephants go giraffe tipping. Yes. Okay. So let's keep going.
The dream is alive as long as that's true.
We're going to talk about some
Thinking
comic
about it
books.
Yeah.
Comic books sold in April 2018.
Oh, sales chart time.
Sales chart time.
Oh.
This is a doozy of a month.
The listeners
need
are
some
in for a
good
treat when
intro
Toby
music.
wakes up off the floor over here.
What are the top 10 selling comic books to the North American direct market estimated sales through Diamond Comic Distributors?
Doomsday
Stimulating
Clock.
radio.
What?
Stimulating radio.
Yeah, I know. What I'm asking you, what are there is
Three
No.
of the top 10 are Batman.
there is no Doomsday Clock in the released in the month of
Jesus
April.
Christ. Action 1000, guys.
Well, let's answer Bryce first. Batman only has 2 in the top 10. Batman
Did
number
White
40.
Knight not come out?
White Knight did it and came in at number 11.
Oh, Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, so I was off by one.
Amazing Spider-Man 798. First appearance of the Red Goblin.
Batman 45
Wait,
came in
turn,
the
Jim.
number 7 spot at 96,000 copies. Batman 44 came in the number 5 spot at 125,000 copies. Now, you may notice on previous months we've barely had a comic breaking 100,000 copies, and we have the number 5 book, Batman, at 125,000 copies. Batman 44, of course, being the open order variant for the Catwoman dress cover, which,
yes.
thanks to myself and other retailers on the DC retailer forum, we got that made to an open order instead of like a 50-50 split. So there's a reason that book jumped 30,000 copies was because of that cover.
Yep.
So
Because most people came in and went,
that's the cover.
groom, bride, buying
That
both.
Catwoman cover is amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so variants are good in this case because it's a DC book. Got it.
Variants are usually good.
Oh, are they?
In some cases.
They're usually, unless it's a Marvel variant, in which case you and Brock take the piss out of it.
Well, it depends on what it is. If it's 21 variant covers for a Tony Stark Iron Man, where you have to order 200% of the main cover in order to then order any of these 21 variants, yeah, that's pretty stupid. But if you just want to have 2 open order covers,
So are
when
you-
retailers have told DC the better way to do it, and DC listens to it and changes it, so everyone wins.
Way to go, DC.
So are you not going to be doing it for Iron Man?
Don't know. Have a couple days to figure it out. FOC's Monday.
but your gut feeling is you will capitulate.
I put the pre-order set up. We haven't got any pre-orders for the entire set yet, so I might not.
How often do you get pre-orders for random new variant sets?
Regularly when we do them. I don't.
Charlie, is this true? You're always honest. Higgins is not.
Oh, he's been doing crazy amounts of
Fuck you,
variant
Charlie. You're a
sets.
liar.
we sold like 70 sets of Action Comics 1000 variant covers. Speaking of Action
Yeah,
Comics,
Because you're a DC store that only sells DC books
No, even-
ever.
Oh my God, he is
Even
not.
before that,
Okay,
he was
okay,
doing
okay.
like the Jim
There's
Lee
like-
variant cover
the Jim Lee
months.
variant,
He was
the
doing the
Harley
Harley
variant.
variants.
Okay.
He was,
There's a level of
yeah.
hyperbole that you guys have to just get over.
Marvel. I do way more for Marvel than DC because Marvel does the
'cause
variant.
Marvel's better.
Marvel does the variants
Oh my
more
God.
regularly. Action Comics number 1,000, although DC claimed it broke over 500,000 copies. Of course, this does not include sales outside the United States and reorders and blah, blah, blah. So The number one comic for the month of April is Action Comics 1000 at 449,787,000 units.
Wow.
Just
And
shy
half those are
500,000.
here.
I was going to say,
I processed like 1,300 of those.
That's really awesome.
let's do some math.
Like, no bullshit. That's really, really cool.
Are you trying to figure out what percentage of Action we ordered?
Yeah, 2%. Did you
Let's
just say you sold here 2,000 and that he sold total 50 or
No, we
500,000?
ordered, 1,300?
Oops.
Oh, then never mind.
Which was still a crazy amount for any single issue comic.
70 sets of that shit? Oh my god, that's 700 books.
Yeah.
I got 2 sets.
Yeah, basically, I think that order is tiny. I think that order should have been like literally 10 times that amount. I think a lot of stores did not have
You were
copies.
scared by the price point?
No,
Yeah.
well, what's funny is I went to, after Action came out, I actually went to Sparks, Nevada, and I stopped by a couple shops there, and they didn't have any copies on the shelf.
And when I was in St. Louis, they didn't have any copies for the shelf. Either they were out.
Yeah, if we were the median order for this book, we would have sold 5 million copies. So it sold 500,000. So I think stores way underordered this
We
book.
wouldn't have sold a little slip of the tongue there, DC Lover. We wouldn't have sold 5 million copies. DC would have, right? Is that what you meant to say?
What did I say?
You said we would have sold 5 million copies.
Okay,
Ryan's
DC would have
next
sold 5
announcement that He
million.
now works for DC Comics.
DC would have sold 5 million
He's been
copies.
fucking on the take from DC
if
since
we-
forever.
Okay, I don't know what I said.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Look, I'm like
Anyway-
doped up on Dayquil and everything, so it's fine.
Legit, that's very cool of Action
Yeah.
Comics 1000.
That is really cool.
It was a fun read.
It was a fun midnight release. It was
Yeah, man, that sounds great.
and it was just it was a good deal.
So are
the
we
reason-
gonna preemptively say Detective Comics number 1,000?
I mean,
do better?
it's
No, 1000 Fatigue is already hit. Detective 1000 is nothing.
it's going to be huge.
wow.
I'm calling it right now.
It's going to be at least this number. At least.
What?
Yeah, at least.
Because Batman is that much
it's
better than
Batman.
Superman?
Yeah, 'cause it's Batman.
Because they've now shown they can get away with
Batman
10
is,
plus variant covers for
and
Superman.
the stores that underordered will realize how badly they screwed up.
this is
and
the thing
increased
though
orders.
is stores underordered on the 10 main variant covers, but there was a ton of stores that had
exclusive
covers.
I will
Yeah, it's about
grant
25 or
that
so.
Batman is at least 10 times better than Superman. But you don't think there's going to be any level of 1000 Fatigue?
No,
Not
not for
on
this.
this kind of thing.
Well, Charlie, it's already been established this episode that you're a liar, so I only listen to Higgins now.
Amazing
You
Spider-Man.
know, Bryce, every episode has called me a liar like at least 4 times. So you've
No,
only
only the last 2 when you're lying. So check your facts, Charlie
Amazing
the liar.
Spider-Man 799
Charlie, just bite his finger.
was the number 3 comic at 192,000 copies. Amazing Spider-Man 798, the first appearance of Red Goblin, which Marvel again told us sold 233,000 copies for the number 2 book of the month. Now, look what happens, Marvel, when you actually tell us something's coming. We order a shitload more copies of your comics. Because Amazing Spider-Man wasn't even breaking 100,000 copies prior to this.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Right.
I mean, the numbers just skyrocketed for these issues.
So
And
Marvel,
the only reason you have copies on the shelf is because you mass ordered them, whereas everybody else is out.
I ordered 10 times my normal number
Everybody
of Spider-Man.
else is out.
Yeah, I ordered
Doesn't matter.
literally 10 times my normal numbers of Spider-Man. And I have some left, not many.
Well, we were pimping those all weekend.
Yeah. Yep. Huge books. Now, technically not Spider-Man, but a very Spider-Man-related character is also on this list at number 6. I want to take a guess.
Gwenpool.
Close. No.
Okay, joking aside.
New Marvel book,
Spider-Gwen?
new number 1.
Spider-Gwen?
New series.
Silk number
Venom.
1.
Venomized number 1.
Ew, what?
At 103,000 copies for the number 6 book of the month.
I didn't even buy it.
I read it.
I love how Charlie says that he read it without
I
any
did.
indication that he would deign to buy it.
And none of us can
Well,
test
because
them either.
I
None of us read it.
absolutely would not buy it.
And this,
But I wouldn't have read because it was a follow-up to the other book.
But again,
in the store of the dude that owns the book that you read but didn't buy. Like,
Yeah,
you're just
so
cavalier.
This just shows
I
you
read
how
it and I didn't
important.
buy it, Higgins.
This just shows you how important variant covers are to these books. Venomized #1 sold 103,000 copies. Now the book is weekly, right? #2 sold 44,000 copies. 3 and 4 sold 42,000 copies, and 5 came out in the beginning of May. So that'll be on next month's sales charts. So more than the book sold more than twice. The #1 book sold more than twice the rest of them because of the amount of variants and incentives attached to it.
Venom #1
That's
comes
just what
out
happens.
tomorrow. The new series.
Okay, so I have not read it, Charlie. Was Venomized as bad as the whole Venom arc in X-Men Blue?
it's just the follow-up to the Venomverse book. I mean, it's just they took all the events from the
I
Venomverse
really like
book.
the poison. Is the
Yeah.
poisons?
Yeah.
I actually ashamedly like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Venomverse book. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't groundbreaking enough to make me
Right,
go, like,
sure.
but
It was a fun summer
good,
read. Unlike
fun, solid
Metal, which was pitched as a nice, fun summer read and is now like a 9-month
So
long.
this is just the follow-up to that
Yeah.
with the
That
poisons
happened.
and invading another world and all that.
Wait, pause, Charlie. Wasn't the pitch for Metal originally that it was going to be a fun summer story?
Summer?
Yeah, didn't on the
Didn't it come out
Scott
in, like,
Snyder
September or
interview
something like
with
that?
you? Didn't he say that? Wasn't it? Am I okay? I'm a little crazy, but I'm not fully crazy. I swear that he said in his interview something along the lines of like it's a fun summer read. And
It's like he wanted it to be like one of those big summer events
Yeah.
that you used to read.
But it wasn't
so
literally
that's
in
90%
summer.
of what I just said.
But it wasn't literally
you're welcome.
in summer.
Okay, and now it's like a 9-month long event, or it ended up being a 9-month long event.
Yeah, it was like I think it ended up being like kind of 1 month longer than it should have been because they had that fill on
Okay,
with
look.
loss and everything.
At the end of the day, GFY Metal's been actually enjoyable. I'm not. Trying
it's
to throw shade
over.
at
It's been
Metal.
over for like a month and a half or something like that. The #4 book.
No.
The number
Hunt for Wolverine?
The #4 book for April. Hunt for Wolverine #1 at 138,000 copies.
What?
It's a $6
Yeah.
comic too, so big bucks there.
Have you read it yet?
It's the one shot.
I own it. If that answers your question,
Did you?
See, I was going around asking everybody in the shop, have you read this yet? I need to read this.
I read it. It's good.
Charlie,
It's a
you just
good
want to read it and not buy it. I've bought it.
Did you
and
sign
haven't
up?
Read it. Charlie and I are like the yin yang twins, except that we're not as good
I'm
at
gonna
rap.
help. I'm gonna help out Ryan. Did you sign up for it on Comic Con?
I was gonna say, did you sign up for all 4-issue miniseries on Comic Con?
First of all,
No.
GFY.
That's a no.
Second of all, if it's on the hub, I don't give a fuck. Is that a thing? That can be a thing now.
Now, the #8 book of the month is a book that Bryce was very mad that I didn't put in his box.
Domino.
Domino #1, 89,000 copies. The #8 book
That's not in my box.
for April. You were mad the
It
other week
wasn't
that I
in
didn't
your
put it
box.
in your box.
Did we add it to my box?
Yeah, you were just
Well,
looking
now
at
you
it.
edited it on the
I
hub.
was looking at #2.
Oh, is that number
Right.
2? Yeah. No, I think you got #1. Yeah. I'll check the hub.
You're the second most liar to Charlie on this table, Higgins.
So #9, #10, another Marvel book. A lot of Marvel books in the top 10. What's going on? Something's changing.
Yeah, because Marvel has turned a corner
They-
from 2017.
Mighty Thor.
They legitimately have. I think
That's
it's
what
crazy.
I'm saying. Like,
It's all those #1s and variants and incentives.
oh wow, Brock,
Nope.
very insightful with more shade thrown at
Nope.
Marvel for no reason
actually,
this time.
Thor 706, the #15 book at 56,000. That's actually way lower than I anticipated it would be. I thought it was going to get
For a
big
finale,
boost.
yeah, I thought it would be higher.
And
yeah.
with the Artgerm cover, I thought that would have been way higher.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was the one with Artgerm cover.
So #9, anniversary book. It's a Marvel book. It's a guy that doesn't usually top the charts, but he's up here in the top 10.
Daredevil,
Thanos.
Nope.
Damnation.
Nope.
Captain America.
Captain America 700.
That's right.
It's 77,000 copies for the #9 book.
But that's like 77.
And
Brock could do much better.
#10.
GFY Captain America.
It's not Marvel, it's not DC, it's the only other book that would be on this list.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. #178 at #10 for
they're doing those-
Hey, what's Oblivion at?
They're doing
What-
those.
what's Oblivion
like,
at?
Oblivion's
headshot
song.
variants.
So Thanos 18, all right? So Thanos
Yeah,
18 was
yeah.
the final issue. Still only 51,000 copies of #18 book. I mean, that's not bad, right? But
What about the annual?
I don't think
it make
the
it?
annual. No, the annual's not technically this month, but the reprints are selling tons.
Yeah.
All the reprints are in the sales are in the top.
And number
500.
one is
Yeah.
selling
Top 300.
for good money these days on eBay.
Yeah.
You know what you need to get ready
First
for?
printing.
The director's cuts.
No, I want the trade.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanos Annual number 1 is on there. The number 32 book at 43,000 copies.
Cool.
Real good for an annual.
Oh, no kidding.
Really good for an annual.
But that's not as good as the Batman annual, too.
No, I mean,
DC is just better, Brock. That's been
We
established.
well, Thanos. It's funny.
You speak
So
the truth.
Thanos jumped up quite a bit here, but it's still not.
You said it was number 18? no.
Yeah, number 18, which again,
Number
which
18
is
is at
really
18.
good.
Yeah.
Because compared to what the book was selling prior, it's basically doubled in sales for the last couple issues. So I'm really hoping.
Oh, the finale was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm
It
really
was
hoping Donny Cates
fantastic.
can.
Well, that's one of those things where I think the reprints came out and there was still enough interest that people just wanted to read it, and
Oh, yeah.
so they picked up the.
They did
Well,
it.
the reprints are going to keep on selling right all the way up through Cosmic Ghost Rider first issue in July.
Yeah, they did another.
What?
Yeah.
Cosmic Ghost Rider does not have his own series.
Yes, he does.
It's a
Yes,
mini.
he does.
Yeah, it's a
That
mini.
is awesome. Charlie, I don't want to hear from you.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to.
He's going to bite you.
Not,
Where?
wasn't funny the first time. Not funny the second time.
The biting?
Yeah.
So it's good to see Thanos getting that big of a bump, but they've got to do something big with the character because Donny Cates is on fire, and they need to.
Wait, so I have a
Keep him
legit,
going.
an actual, real non-troll question. How much of Thanos' upswing in success is because of the movie versus because people actually cottoned on to how awesome the book has been the whole time?
It's Donny Cates' run. It's picked up a ton of. I mean, it's eBay sales.
Since
It's
issue
speculation.
13.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
reprint. I mean, no, I'm sorry. There was a reprint of the last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, last issue of 12. But
What's that?
issue 13 was freaking amazing.
Bryce is taking a step out from the store, and we're going to continue. So that's your top 10. We have, let's see, whoops, let me get to my total numbers here. Where are we? Our unit sales here. Top 300 comics sold. 6.82 million copies, plus up 5% from the same month last year.
Hey.
What's up? No, what's up?
What?
What's up?
I have another customer for you. I'm making you money while you...
Okay, we're podcasting. Let's see, comic. Okay,
is a podcaster.
I have no idea what's going on here. So the top 300 comics sold 28.19 million, which is down 10% versus same month previous year. That's weird, although the total
The
units
the
were way
Action
up.
1000 didn't put us over from last year.
Well, no, so that's the thing. Let me actually get to like the year to date and everything like that because that's the stuff we want to look at. Here we go. Okay. All comic books, graphic novels, trade paperbacks, and magazines shipped in the month of April was $45.84 million plus 11% versus same month last year. So that's the big boost right there, right? Obviously, big. We're still down on the year, but this took a big chunk of that away. We're down, I think, 4% on the year.
Wow.
which is not bad. I mean, industry wide, that's not bad. Overall units.
Yeah, but compared to last year, Marvel's on the upswing. Their books are still doing amazing.
Yeah,
compared to
Marvel.
what the crap they had out last year.
Yeah,
Last year we were in the middle of Generations and heading into
we were
Legacy.
bitching about Generations and Legacy
Yeah,
and
it's just
everything.
so
and
bad.
yeah,
Well, Generations didn't last long, and there was a fair amount of buzz around it.
but it did nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't do anything, and then
they sold terribly.
And then when Legacy came out, it was that huge fiasco of shops basically just ordered a shit ton because the variants made them the money back, so they just had books in droves sitting on the shelves.
Well, what Marvel has done too, in the top 300, Marvel has 94 titles. If we look back at this time last year, they had like 120 or something like that. So they're publishing like roughly 20 to 30 fewer titles, but their sales have increased. Obviously, DC's at the point now where they're doing a kind of creative shuffle on a bunch of the Rebirth titles, which is going to bring a lot of those titles back up. So while Marvel's kind of leapfrog DC a little bit here, post Rebirth and Legacy, and now Marvel's kind of
Why you got the
swings
charts
back up.
While you got the charts up right now, why don't you look up the DC's new titles that came out?
They're not good.
They're not good.
No,
Terrific,
let me
Sideways.
Let me do this, and then
Brimstone.
I'll look those up. Top 300, Marvel is 46.58% of the units, DC at 35.86. So, I mean, Marvel and DC are just completely dominating the top 300 in a way that they just rarely do.
Yeah.
Again, top dollar share in the top 300. Marvel's 45%, DC's 36%. So obviously some big dollar books there from Marvel and DC, but they still didn't get them up. And
that's amazing with action that they didn't put it. They didn't put them over Marvel.
Well, I mean, you have to look at it. Venomized 1 came out, had all those variants.
Yeah, Marvel had a lot.
They had Hunt for
there was a lot.
all those variants.
Yeah, that's true. Domino had variants.
When you're pumping those out, like
basically,
the Hunt for Wolverine is what, a $6 book?
The two Spider-Mans basically were the equivalent in sales to Action Comics 1000, which to me, I mean, I think is crazy. I think Action Comics was way undersold. Immortal Men #1 premiered at the number 22 spot at 48,000 copies, which is super low, right? For a book theoretically drawn by Jim Lee. Terrific's #3 was at the number 68 book at 30,000 copies. What is it? Sideways,
Brimstone, Damage.
Sideways #3 is the number 116 comic at 19,000. Damage #4 is the number 115 comic at 20,000, right above Sideways.
Silencer.
Brimstone #1 is the number 53 book at 33,000. Silencer #4 is 135 at 16,000. So yeah, you can tell there's a reason why I think this Age of Hero stuff is not going to last. A couple of them will, right? Yeah. But I think it's done. I think DC.
I think DC got their shots in with the Terrifics. I think it'll be done.
Well, they had a shot. I mean, they obviously had the ability to launch some stuff. But this is just what DC do with New Age of Heroes is just the exact same shit Marvel pulled with all these random new crap characters they dropped on us in the last few years. And it's like, look, guys, I really hate to say it, but people, unless you have a Mr. Miracle where, like, holy shit, like, this is actually something that's going to, like, that's very different and there's a quality level to it, shitting out 8 titles isn't going to do anything.
But as we said before, if the the pillar titles are okay, then they can experiment with these little titles and do 4 issues, 6 issues, miniseries, and see how they well. And if they do well, then they do another one. If they don't do well, then they just
and that's why I think it works. But again, DC did what they should have done. They should have done maybe 3 or 4 of these, not 8 or 9 of these. We still have a couple coming up that
Unexpected, Challengers of the Unknown.
Challengers and Challengers is a 6-issue mini now. I don't think it was originally pitched as a 6-issue.
Yeah.
I think Challengers was originally pitched as ongoing. I expect these will all be 6 to 12 issue miniseries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
maybe short of Terrifics. Charlie?
Which most things nowadays they don't tend to classify as miniseries unless it's something like Mr. Miracle by Tom King or something like that.
Yeah,
they'd like to leave it open, but we all know a lot of this stuff, especially when you do get into stuff that's drawn by Jim Lee or whatnot, was only going to really be an arc and would sell in trade because of who, like, it's fine having a bunch of essential miniseries, and if one of them does find additional life in trade form and whatnot, they'll bring the character back.
Yeah.
Right.
Jim, Amazing Spider-Man 797. I don't know if this is second prints or reorders or what this is. Was the 137th book at 15,000 copies. That's the previous month's issue.
Wow.
So
that was the reveal. That was the cameo of Red Goblin at the very end.
Yeah. Big sales there. Yeah. Big month. Big. Absolutely crushing month for Marvel and DC both. Great to see the market flipping around so much. Books still sell. I know personally here, April was the biggest month the store has ever had by a staggering amount.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, of course, the Action 1000
on the back of
pre-sales had a lot to do with that. I mean, that was definitely a big chunk. We had our sale, which we always do in April. So Aprils are usually very good for us. This was a bit higher than normal, even on top of that. So, very, very, very good. Obviously, industry-wide, there's still problems, but I think a lot of this stuff is starting to switch around, and I think we'll just we'll see.
What are some of the problems? You say industry-wide there's still problems. What are some of the problems that you see as the forefront, on the forefront?
Well, you still have a lot of retailers that, are kind of just barely breaking even, barely getting by. That's not a problem with the industry. That's a problem with retailers.
Yeah, so you said it's an industry problem. That sounds like an idiot problem.
Well,
okay, that was. I don't want to hear from you. That was.
Well, I'm just going to say
hyperbolic.
there's been a lot of comic shops that have closed since the new year. Like an abnormal
into the new
amount.
year, into the start of the new year, then into the new year, a good number of shops closed. I heard numbers as high as 10%. I don't know if that's true.
Wait, so you had your greatest month by some crazy number, and like at the same time, record numbers of shops are like folding. What's
real
WTF?
They lost the what was it Meltdown Comics in Anaheim or LA?
What you've had over the last year or two, you've had some older style shops that just can't keep up with the economy of today. You have some new shops that way overspent, right? Obviously, like our local competitor here, Legends, moved into a spot that probably was 5 to 10 times what they were paying at their previous location. That's just not sustainable, regardless of any comic shop.
I would be interested to see how many of these shops that folded were in California.
Oh, I'm sure many of them,
where like shit's going crazy.
Well, and a lot of places have said, it was cool when the rent was $500 a month, and now it's $5,000. I can't afford this, right? And I'm not making any more money. So yeah, that is obviously a big part of it. But that
also doesn't sound like an industry problem, though. That sounds like
that's just retail
business ownership sort of problem.
Of course, but you do have. For a lot of stores that suffered in 2017 and 2016, there were big Marvel stores. They may not have had the cash flow to continue operation into this point, and who knows, maybe their customers just haven't come back. They have for us. We've had a huge spike in Marvel sales recently. But, it's possible these stores haven't.
Maybe they invested too high. Maybe they invested too heavily in lenticulars and legacy. And
well, and there's still customers just abandoning stores, customers just ghosting and not coming and picking up their stuff.
Yep.
We've taken a real hard line with that, and it's really paid off for us in the end. It happens very infrequently now.
It's also when things are bad, they probably accumulated a certain amount of debt that made it hard to climb back out when things started to turn.
Okay, that makes sense. It doesn't sound like anything that you said is an industry problem so much as running a business problem, which is that the industry that you meant? I thought you meant like a comic industry thing.
Well, there's going to be problems that Marvel and DC and the independents have where you but it's all part of the industry, right? I mean, shipping problems, just overhead problems. That is any store that's roughly our size, we're going to have similar issues. But obviously, in a place like California versus a place like the middle of Kansas, you're going to have vastly different overhead.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's. I would think Marvel and DC are doing a good job at propping up stores that are paying attention, but I think you have a lot of stores that are just kind of playing it safe and not trying to rock the boat. And to me,
so maybe the economy is a little more tenuous than like the comic book industry.
Yeah.
When you said industry problem, like I thought that you meant that Marvel and DC were still doing some crazy shit that was ruining everybody's life, but everything you've described is just bad business decisions.
Marvel still does some poor decisions on their incentives,
which they haven't done any different for the past decade.
Right.
So
Diamond has had.
Okay, that's not.
Diamond and UPS have problems. Like this week, us and Elusive are the only stores that got comics today. Everyone else is getting them tomorrow. So
it must be nice.
Yeah, I mean, because we have FedEx, so UPS delayed everyone's books by a day. So everyone else in the Bay Area is not getting their books till tomorrow.
How do you swing that, man?
So everybody come to Comic Conspiracy and pick up your books here.
We just chose a different company to ship through, and I actually pay attention. I called these guys on Friday.
Is this one of those you choose your own luck type of thing, or you make your own luck type?
Yeah,
of thing?
I mean, I called these guys on Friday and I said, "Hey, I got this email that apparently this stuff's going to be delayed. Can you guys still get this up?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll take care of it." So we got it today.
Yeah,
but
I bet 99% of the shops around here didn't do that.
I mean, I saw a couple shops that were like, "We're getting our books Wednesday," and they're like, "Yeah, you got an email. Didn't you see it Friday?" Oh, I don't know, maybe not. or Thursday or whenever the email came out. So I was like, yeah,
See,
pay attention to your fucking emails.
This isn't an industry problem, my man. This is a business ownership problem.
It's a problem of people in the industry. There you go. That's maybe a better way of doing it.
Sure.
So what's next?
That's a lot of comics.
By the way, that was a
month,
fascinating discussion.
That was a fascinating discussion. Good radio.
I try.
I can't.
You want to hear some bad radio? Let's talk about Comcast and Fox because none of us have any idea what we're talking about.
Before we do this, can we talk about the Deadpool trailer? Are we going to wait till Toby gets here?
Yeah, why don't you wait till Toby?
Let's see if Toby ever shows up. Remember when Toby said he was on his way?
Yeah,
An hour ago.
Was that last Thursday?
Yeah. So the new talk is that Comcast is putting in a bid for Fox. And now the Disney bid has not gone through. It'll take years for this to actually happen if it does. Comcast is up in the ante. I think I read something like 60. I think I have the total here. It's like $66 billion. So they're trying to overpay over Disney to try to get in here. Of a total, some all cash deal. So
all cash.
Yeah, some crazy amount of money.
I don't understand what Comcast's angle
Comcast
is.
Going to pay all cash, and yet my internet's been spotty for like a month and a half.
That's because you have to pay for the non-shitty internet, bro.
Yeah,
I do pay for the non-shitty internet.
Well, my internet is awesome. I don't know. I have Comcast.
So, I mean, Comcast owns other broadcast networks, right? I mean, I don't remember which ones they own.
I mean, I love to pretend shit. I love to pretend that I know shit that I don't, and I will not pretend to know anything about Comcast. How about that? By the way, what the fuck? Goku has a tail? Is this a thing? Is that
this
Goku?
Is the old Dragon Ball.
Is that dude in red? Is that Goku?
Yeah.
Does he have a tail?
Yeah.
What the fuck is with? He has a tail. I thought he was a human.
Good radio.
He was never a human.
Why do you? This is like the fourth time you said that. This is banter that doesn't involve actually watching.
Comcast owns NBC.
So they have plans for the Fantastic Four and God.
So
Comcast wants to buy Fox. Wants to buy Fox, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So again, the greater implication
the
of this,
Four and all the X-Men,
the greater implication of why this is probably a terrible deal and will somehow ruin, film and movie making and it doesn't matter because all we care about is Wolverine and Spider-Man and Iron Man hanging out, right? That's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Can you imagine?
And we want the Fantastic Four back.
So.
On a regular basis.
Right. People are like, this is going to be like a multi-year deal. Congress has to get involved. There's all these implications of monopolies and all this ridiculous stuff, and thousands of people could lose their jobs. And we're like, no, we want our superheroes to talk. But that's what this podcast is about. So,
is that literally what I sound like outside of my own head?
Yes.
So,
makes for great radio.
So it was pretty good. That shitty Venom movie that was made in a weekend. They may have done this on purpose because they really got to pump this movie out. Because if Disney's not buying Fox, then they get to keep pumping these movies out to retain the license. So we'll see we'll see if anything comes. But like I said,
maybe the New Mutants won't be as delayed as we thought it was going to be.
Oh, they pushed out like a full year, right, into next year. So they're straight up just delaying.
What's the release date on Captain Marvel?
It's like right before Avengers, isn't it? March?
Is it March?
I think it's March of next year, and Avengers is May. Yeah, it's right before. It's really
because we're getting Ant-Man in July.
Yeah, then nothing till
and then nothing until that, right?
Yeah.
That we know of.
We'll get Aquaman.
Well, I'm just surprised that Captain Marvel isn't going to be more winter time.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would be either
March 6th. March 6th.
I'm with Charlie for the first time in this episode.
Well,
but I'm wrong.
Well, in theory,
and a liar apparently.
In theory, after Ant-Man was supposed to be Venom, New Mutants, Aquaman, and X-Men, Dark Phoenix, right? All four of those were supposed to be out.
Right.
Two of those have slipped off the schedule, so there's still two movies. There's still two superhero movies, but at the time there was supposed to be four. So it kind of makes sense that Marvel was like, let's just put Captain Marvel next year.
Venom.
Yeah. Phoenix was supposed to be December.
We lost New Mutants and Phoenix.
And New Mutants was supposed to be, October, right?
Yes.
What's the story with that? Has that like finished filming?
New Mutants?
Yeah.
They
Dark Phoenix.
They're apparently. I mean, they're going back and reshooting all this stuff.
That is going to be a hot mess. And not
unlike the rest of the. Never mind.
Not the least of which, because Sansa Stark is not as sexy as anyone thinks she is.
Hashtag not your Jean Grey.
Hashtag not fucking anybody's Jean Grey. Hashtag. I got another hashtag.
Hashtag Bryce has nothing.
Love the hub.
Hashtag it's got to be better than X-Men 3.
Ooh, yes.
Dude, X-Men 3 had this camp awesomeness to it, where you will never see the Juggernaut with a higher voice, and you will never see multiple men on screen until Marvel Studios takes over the franchise.
I'm just having fun going. I've
it was
owned
awesome.
X-Men 3 since it came out, and I've never rewatched it.
The
I'm
poetic
the Juggernaut, bitch.
justice. No, it was more like, on the Juggernaut.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
On the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, with his sing-song English voice.
And with the Phoenix creating the first dusting effect that happened, just like happened in the Infinity War.
She knew what was going to... Hey, by the way, spoiler level... What?
It made over $1 billion by Saturday. If you haven't watched it and you live on this planet,
no, I have
there's
not
something
seen
wrong
Infinity
with you.
War yet.
You're lying! Oh my god!
We'll talk about Infinity War in a second. Hey, Charlie.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, Bryce.
So.
Actually, crap. Everyone at this table. You all have children of various ages.
Except
Yeah.
you.
How many of them are playing Fortnite right now? Like, literally right now, how many of them are playing Fortnite? 17 of them?
One, maybe.
Probably my son.
Yeah. All of your children are playing Fortnite right now?
Just to run around to Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
my son can't spell Fortnite. He can't spell night. He can't spell fort. He can't spell his own
He's
name.
definitely
So-
playing Fortnite, though. That's the thing you don't know. I mean, that's the thing.
JT can't spell JT?
He's definitely playing Fortnite right now.
Yeah, my kids
He's
got into
definitely
Fortnite
asleep right now,
before they
motherfucker.
announced the Thanos thing, and I'm like, I'm glad I said yes.
So Fortnite, the biggest video game
Okay,
potentially of all
can you
time.
give me like a 20-second download on what this game is? I understand that it's an arena battleground thing.
Fortnite is a take on Players Unknown
Yeah,
Battleground.
I don't know what that is either.
So basically, 100 people are dropped onto an island,
That sounds awesome.
and last person standing.
That also sounds awesome. But how do you play this on your phone?
Because you just so PUBG is a paid for game. Fortnite has a free is free, and you just buy skins and everything like that. So you can I mean, there's phone versions. I mean, your ass handed to you by anyone playing on a PC, but you can do it.
But can I be Thanos on my phone?
You can.
Yeah.
So when this
If you
new
find the gauntlet.
And he emotes.
That makes you a bigger target, though.
Oh, you have to find the gauntlet.
Yes, it's somewhere on the map.
I heard that Fortnite broke some Twitch record
it
for
broke every record. Yeah.
Like, how did PUBG exist for so long, and then Fortnite came along so much later and just
Well,
destroyed
Fortnite
it?
existed, right? Players Unknown Battleground was created, and they did this battle royale mode,
Right.
which blew up huge. But because it was a paid program, it was sort of limited and is more realistic. Fortnite.
It's a little more cartoonish.
Fortnite was like a zombie. It was like a horde mode shooter. I believe it was a horde mode shooter. But then they were like, "Fuck, we could do this too," and they just did it, and it became the biggest game of all time. More people have bought Minecraft, and more people have played and bought like GTA 5. So it's not the biggest game, but it's the biggest live stream game of all time. The most consecutive players of any game at one time.
That's so
My
crazy.
20-year-old son
crazy.
says, I play Player Unknown instead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you have a little bit of money and you're older, if you're 20 years older, you're playing PUBG.
Yeah, no, high
If
schoolers
you-
are playing this during the day.
If you're a kid, you're playing
Like,
Fortnite.
When
class.
they're supposed to be in class. Exactly.
They're watching videos on people playing this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I am not looking forward to my kid going to the schools with his own phone and fucking not going to class. How do you avoid that?
I played Fortnite a little bit, but
You just don't give them phones.
You don't give them phones, or you load an app in their phone that shuts it down.
But then you got to deal with them calling you a bad parent.
Well, I'm already a bad parent.
I hate you, Dad.
Hashtag great parent.
well, all us olds can play Fortnite and get our ass handed to us by like 7-year-old kids because they can now become Thanos and wield the Infinity Gauntlet in Fortnite.
And
So,
and he can emote too.
I don't know how long that's going to be up for, but it's super weird.
Supposedly, they've already had to start nerfing him a little.
Oh, yeah.
How did they...
I'm assuming his first thing is kill half the players on the map. Cool. Second thing...
That's awesome.
No. He's got to have to build up to that. That can't
No,
be
he kills half the players, and then he starts squashing heads with just the palm of his hand.
How does this game monetize?
The skins,
skins.
purchases,
Yeah.
like
That's
weapons.
enough. You can monetize enough off of skins. To
Yeah.
do
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
League
Freemium,
of
baby.
Legends,
Dota.
Overwatch.
Oh, no, Overwatch is paid.
No, yeah, that's true.
You're thinking
No, but
Heroes
can't
of
you buy
Heroes?
Heroes of the Storm.
Can't you buy some stuff in Overwatch?
You buy
Oh.
the crates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy a bunch of stuff, but
But Heroes
Overwatch
of the
is still-
Storm is more by the specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's confirmed.
Skins are huge.
I'm an old man.
Yep. I played Fortnite for a bit. It's whatever. It's nothing. I don't care about
You
it.
got your ass handed to you. That's why.
I'm an adult with money and no time, so I don't need this game. Like, I can buy whatever the hell I want. It doesn't matter. to me.
Whoa, get that dirt off your shoulder, Mr. Higgins. Wow.
No, I mean, if
You
you're
don't
a kid,
have time to lose to my son
if you're
who's
a kid-
5 years
if
old
you're a
on
kid with-
Fortnite
if you're a
because
kid
you're a
with-
grown-up.
if you're a kid with infinite time and no money, this is the greatest game of all time. Because you just play for
So
free
anybody
forever.
under 4. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. But I don't have time for this shit.
You don't want to be Thanos?
I don't care.
I saw like a 30-second
know
video
is
of
that-
it where I didn't know what was going on, but Thanos looks awesome, and he was killing everybody, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
All I know is this came about because apparently the Russo brothers are big fans of the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they went, we should put Thanos in there. And everybody went, that's a great idea.
Yeah, Fortnite is like on your Twitter moments like every other day.
Yep.
You check Twitter every other day.
No, I'm saying I check Twitter often, but
check Twitter every day.
You see Fortnite in the moments like every other day.
I'm really behind. I gotta get on this adulting thing. I gotta
Hashtag Bryce don't care.
I gotta check Twitter more often. The thing is that I only need so much time to pass before I need to check in with Higgins's tweets to troll him. So
I don't know. I just spend too much time going, I don't really care what the fuck people are talking about. So
Avengers Infinity War.
But you did like Trevor's
Second
camo
week.
thing for you.
Second
I
week
did.
numbers.
Second week numbers. 11 days.
Broke $1 billion.
Broke $1 billion.
That's right.
$1 billion.
was it the fastest movie to do $1 billion?
Yep.
Yes.
11 days. As of today, it's done 461 domestic, 737 million foreign for a total of $1.2 billion.
Yep.
Has it opened in China yet?
I
This
don't.
weekend.
Yeah, I don't think
Mother
it has.
Russia.
I don't think it has.
It hasn't opened in China or Russia yet?
No.
Jesus Christ.
So there's some interesting. I think Toby was talking about this.
It's
How
probably because of all their variant covers.
Chinese audiences
Nobody-
don't like villains. And
win,
so
yeah.
this or just villains period. So this movie might not actually do that well in China. It's a really weird one.
He's not a villain. What are you talking about? It's his movie. He's the hero.
You know, actually, the way they portray him, he could be a tragic hero.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he could very easily be a very tragic
So I
hero.
thought this movie, at least domestically, I think it has a chance to beat Black Panther, but it's going to be close because we have Deadpool, we have Solo coming up. Suddenly, big chunks are going to start being taken out of Infinity War. I think it's very front loaded. Obviously, week 2 is huge. It's like 112, I believe, 112 the second weekend, something like that. So the next few weeks are going to be real telling. Black Panther was at, I believe, 668, if I'm not mistaken.
But Black Panther was in the theater for a long time.
Cheese and feta.
Yeah.
it's
Black
still
Panther's
in the
Yeah, I think
theater.
it is
still
still,
in
yeah.
the
Black Panther has moved up to number 3, so it's 693.
That's
so
amazing. It's still in the theater and it's coming out on Blu-ray here real soon.
yeah, Infinity War has $230 million to pick up.
Amazon
I don't-
pre-order blackout.
Does Infinity War pick up another 230? I mean, Black Panther's going to cross 700 by the time it
absolutely,
leaves.
absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think it
It's
is.
gonna. You know what? I don't know if it's gonna be domestic, but between domestic and international, it will pick up another 230.
I think international. Oh, of course. No. What I mean is domestic. I think international.
It'll be I agree with you on that. It'll be close.
I think it's already past Black Panther's. Yeah. It's already way past Black Panther's international numbers, which I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
But domestic, I don't think Avengers will beat Black Panther
I
domestic.
think it will. I'm keep telling people to go see it again and and again and again and again and again.
I think it'll be close, but I don't think it's going to beat it.
Yeah, I don't think.
Single-handedly responsible.
I don't think they're going to get
Hashtag 5 times,
I don't
baby.
think they're going to be able to get to 230 million in
No, I think
this
you're.
weekend.
If it wasn't for the stiff competition coming up, they absolutely would. But
Yeah.
I do think you're right. I think enough people will peel away to go to Deadpool and Solo and
Solo.
that stuff.
We have another week and a half until Deadpool comes out, and 3 weeks until Solo.
Well, this
comes
is the
out.
thing
I
is
think
it's
going to happen.
probably smart. It was probably smart for them to change the release date.
Yeah.
to earlier this
yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah. Give them $100, almost $200 million.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to open this past weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to open Free Comic Book Day weekend.
Yep. All right.
It's not a spoiler, but I have to ask.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you see the Deadpool music video that came out not long ago?
I have not seen it.
Are you at least aware of it?
I am not aware, but it sounds incredible. I'm aware of how handsome Ryan Reynolds is. Almost as handsome as I am.
No, it's
They
Is that what we're
came
talking
out
about?
with a Celine Dion Deadpool music video.
That I don't even know what that is, but that sounds like the greatest thing on earth.
okay. Hashtag Deadpool high heels.
Okay, that sounds even more awesome. Okay, so I should watch this. It's not like related to the movie at all, I assume, or is that a scene in the movie that'll spoil it?
There are some.
They have like 2 or
Yeah.
3 scenes,
You
but
guys
most
should
of
have
it
just
is.
said, no, you can watch it, Bryce. Just watch it.
Well, it doesn't have any audio, so you don't have any context for the few scenes that shows up.
Okay, well then I will watch it because who doesn't love Celine Dion more than me? At this corner of the table,
She's too good, though.
too good for him.
You understand?
Nobody is too good for Ryan Reynolds. No, I haven't seen it, but I would love to. I would love to see it. I'm excited.
Have
Was
you
that
seen
a
the
segue?
Small Hands Trolleys commercial yet?
No, that was just me realizing I hadn't asked you if you'd seen that music video yet.
No,
Because
but you know
it's
what?
so
I'm going
randomly
to
amazing.
continue to be a bigger cable fan than you, so it doesn't really matter, Charlie.
You know what trolleys
So,
are, right?
I don't know. I do not know what trolleys are. Is it what
They're
Higgins
like,
is?
like gummy worms, only they're they're.
Oh, I like
they're,
the purple ones.
all right,
No.
So
trolleys.
Toby's here.
Orange ones.
So
orange
So
ones.
trolleys are
And
basically
green
gummy
ones.
worms, right? But they're putting them out the hands. They're putting out the Deadpool baby hands.
What?
Yeah.
Ew.
That sounds really gross.
Ew.
I don't know. I'm still
No.
just really
No.
upset with 7-Eleven.
What does 7-Eleven do?
7-Eleven.
They're doing a whole Deadpool takes over 7-Eleven with Deadpool cups and all that. Not a single cable cup.
What?
It's just 5 different Deadpool cups.
That's just racist.
No,
Oh no, wait, is
Yes.
it timist? It must be timist, right?
probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's more accurate.
Yes, but I'm very upset by that because as soon as I saw that, I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to get a cable cup. And then there
And
wasn't
no, you're
one.
not.
Well, that makes one of us with a cable cup, and it's not you, number 2 fan. So,
I have to wait for the X-Force movie.
what is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no cables.
that's what the.
I mean, there's no Deadpool 3.
Well,
They're what are you
so
talking
they've
about?
confirmed
It
the
depends on
X-Force
how well it
movie,
does.
and Ryan Reynolds has basically said he has no clue if there will be a Deadpool 3 because of all this agreements with Fox and Disney and everything else.
And Comcast.
yeah, I
That's a
know.
bomb, by the way, in case anyone was like, "What the fuck was that, Bryce?"
Can we talk about the cable trailer? I mean, the Deadpool 2 trailer now?
I got one last thing to talk about,
Oh, okay.
and then we can talk about that since Toby's here if he wants to talk about it.
No.
The final thing, talk
I'm
about.
over it.
No.
It took too
No.
long.
No.
Toby
My
wants to
excitement has died down. I was yay high on excitement, and then like Ryan was doing his foofy
All right,
shit.
screw
of
Toby.
Like, oh, next week.
The rest
and
of us
then
will talk
we do
about it.
2
Charlie
weeks
and I will
later,
talk about it.
And then another week later, fuck it. At this point, I'll wait till the
Yeah.
Charlie and I will talk about it. Toby can keep on eating.
stop it with your foofy shit.
Yeah.
To quote Mr. Tobias.
DC Universe,
Oh, of course.
DC's online streaming and digital content.
Oh yeah.
It'll be out. We don't know when.
Summer.
They're announcing everything
Summer.
soon. It
Summer,
doesn't-
but it's
I don't
all
think
being
it-
written by Jeff Johns, so it'll
Oh,
be
come on.
2019.
It will have a big push around Comic-Con and be
Yeah.
out like a month after that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, one of the actors said summer by accident.
okay, yeah, I have no idea.
I'm telling you.
It is called DC Universe. We'll be finding out about pricing and exactly what's going to be on it very soon. But
It's already part of my package. I'm good to go.
they've released
Toby, you have a nice package.
title cards
Thanks,
for
it's
4
nice
different
and round and
shows
big.
that will be on the DC Universe streaming site, which is Harley Quinn, the animated series, Young Justice Outsiders, which is also known as Young Justice Season 3, Those are both animated.
Hell yeah.
Wait, this isn't just comics?
No.
No.
Titans, a live-action Titans show.
Hell
Teen Titans show. Which
Did you
we've
see the
seen
episode
about.
breakdowns? Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh,
Jason
man.
Todd episode?
Yep.
Holy
Donna Troy,
shit.
baby.
Oh,
Donna
man.
Troy, number 9.
Yeah.
And finally, announced at the
And that
same time,
Starfire.
this entire thing was announced, there's
That's
going to
rough.
be a live-action Swamp Thing TV show.
I'm excited for that.
Being run by was James Wan, right? Who's doing the Aquaman movie.
Yep.
So this is gonna be big.
Luckily, he's no longer doing the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
Wait, why is that? Why do we?
Because Justin Lin is back.
Is that good? Are we
That's
excited about
fucking
that?
great.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
So big. Now this is also supposed to be a streaming, content for digital comics and
That's what I thought we were talking about.
other stuff.
So is this just their
already
all-you-can-eat platform
It's
for
their
all DC things?
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Interesting. And would this TV content be on any other channels in any other
Let me tell
capacity?
you. I have it already.
Yeah. Toby apparently already has us on. Is it DirecTV?
Yep.
Has it already?
Yep.
But I mean, there's nothing there. But it's coming, I guess. So we'll.
No, there's some stuff already on
Oh,
there.
what's on there?
Like Justice League extra stuff and
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if this will show up on Comcast or if they'll show up on other things. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter.
So they're their own content provider, just like so many others now.
Yeah, and obviously Disney's going to have one soon, and I'm actually kind of surprised that Disney won't. I almost think they should make a Star Wars one and a Marvel one. It's like, why not? Have multiple packages, because an all-in-one Disney package would be.
Too good to be true.
It'd be so much fucking money, right? I mean, it'd have to be like $50 a month or something crazy. So go into the DC.
Well,
Depends
maybe
on
they get everybody in as in the loss leader capacity, and then they split them out later.
Right now
Maybe.
they have DC extras and Justice League something.
Oh, the movie? Yeah, nobody's
Extras.
fucking signing up for that.
So I'm sure there'll be lots of.
Came up.
There'll be lots of big stuff coming from DC, and yeah, I'm really curious to see what what Disney's going to do for for their programming later. I don't know if they're going to do. I would expect. I think they said there's an exclusive Star Wars show they're talking about for that, and that would have to be Marvel stuff. So
At this point, we're gonna have to sign up for 20 different
Muppets
services.
too. Didn't I hear about a Muppets show
Really?
on
There
the Disney app?
There's a Muppet Babies that's already running.
I thought I heard.
No,
by the way,
there is a
which-
new Muppet show that was announced, but I don't remember what for.
Yeah, I thought. it
Oh,
was,
maybe.
I think it's for their streaming app.
But the Muppet Babies is like very, very.
it's like
basically-
very kids, right?
No, it's actually first of all,
It's always been very kids.
yeah, it's first of all, it's always been very kids, but it's actually very, very truthful to the original, except
cool.
for Skeeter and the sister are gone, replaced by a female penguin. That's the only thing that kind of breaks the illusion. I'm like, yay, they're all back with better art.
Why would not?
Who the
why
fuck
would
is this
Skeeter-
penguin?
Why would Skeeter
Breaks
not be
the
there?
illusion, huh?
Yeah,
Why would Skeeter not be there?
Hate that.
I don't know.
Super weird.
Some
Is it
purple penguin is there though.
is it one of? Is it Gonzo's? Doesn't Gonzo have a penguin?
Chicken.
No,
Chicken.
He's got chicken, but
Get it straight. It's his
no, but he
girlfriend.
has the penguins that are there too, right?
No,
No.
the chicken
Who has the
is his
penguins?
girlfriend, man.
There's
and
no
then he has
penguins.
like side
Yeah.
chicks too. For
No,
some
there's
reason.
penguins in
There's
this.
no penguins.
Yeah, there's totally penguins in
There's
Oh, there's
show.
penguins in Muppet.
Yeah,
They're just there.
they're
the
not.
rat. The rat runs around with one of the penguins.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Rizzo
okay.
the rat.
Yeah. I like Rizzo.
And
Okay.
you got King Prawn.
Those classic comic entities.
Oh, they're funny.
Fucking awesome.
I like Rizzo. So yeah, DC Universe, that's going to be very, very big when that comes out.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, Comic-Con, I think we'll hear all about it. If you guys want to talk about the Deadpool trailer, yeah, I don't have anything to say. It was pretty funny. See, here's the thing. Because you know the joke in the movie, the joke in the trailer that like would make Bryce laugh just uncontrollably. He doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I know.
Why,
can't
does it
talk
have
about because
something to
Bryce
do-
is here.
Does it have something to do with Teen Titans Go? Is that why?
No.
You're not too far off.
See, I don't understand.
Did you
this.
see?
I don't understand this. Like, I want to talk about it so badly, because this motherfucker wasn't here. But now that this motherfucker is here, and I'm pointing at Bryce for the radio people that are
Yeah,
listening.
Toby, I will fucking go away so you can talk about it.
No.
Did you
fucking
see?
crazy.
Did
The
you
fire
see-
has
so-
wants to talk to you about
You're
it.
so angry
the
and
fire
excited.
has smoldered.
No, it hasn't. Apparently.
No.
Did you see Ryan Reynolds'
Response?
comment
Yeah.
on the Teen Titans Go video?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
It was really funny.
No.
What,
Who is this guy again?
Ryan Reynolds said, I don't understand how anyone can confuse Deadpool and Deathstroke. They're totally different people.
Well, no,
with
he
their own,
said
like, personalities.
Deathstroke, Slade Wilson with Deadpool, Wade Wilson.
I don't see what's so confusing. Signed, Ryan Gosling. That's how he signed it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, that's okay. All right, well played, sir.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, Jim wants to talk about it, Deadpool. So,
okay.
Bryce, why don't you?
Go fuck yourselves.
We'll
Isn't
motion
it
for you
out
back
in like a week? We might as well wait for the
A week and a half. It's out in a week and a half. We already have tickets. We're already set to go to. I see it in IMAX.
I like how
on
you
the
say
17th.
we because I definitely do not have tickets.
We have tickets.
Okay, you guys.
We're gonna go see it.
That's okay. I have
IMAX
tickets too.
Before I fly out the next morning. So that'll
I'm
be cool.
flying out the next day too.
And I will be seeing it for Fortune.
It's the last thing I'm doing.
That's all right. That's the same. Yeah,
Ryan,
we're
you
seeing
have
it
your
10 o'clock,
tickets, right?
so-
Nope. I am not going to be able to see Deadpool or Solo at launch, so I'll see him at some point when I come back because I will also be gone. So
That's
no
right.
podcast.
Everybody's flying out.
Yeah, no podcast that week either. So
Is there now?
yeah, a couple weeks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there now? Huh?
I think you're going to be going too.
Okay, so
There's
We'll have the
something
Deadpool
called-
so the
episode.
trailer, the freaking trailer.
Yes.
I loved the second trailer that came out.
Yes. I did
Because it
too.
finally
My five
revealed.
inches-
It didn't name him, but it is a Geist, right? From Ecstatic, right? Zeitgeist is that his name? Am I saying it wrong, Ryan? Zeitgeist?
I mean, I know who you're talking about,
the-
but they never show him.
No, they do. They show him with the shield, the yellow shield on his face.
I mean, it's just
He dies in the Ecstatic in like the first book, right?
I think so. It's no more than we've seen him of him before.
But they named Shatterstar.
Yes.
We don't know who the other two girls are.
Shatterstar is the second time he's been appearing in the universe. Oh no,
No.
it's Marvel Universe. The second time.
How? Oh, yeah. Is it? I mean, the actor second time.
The actor, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
He was an Iron Fist.
Yep.
He was supposed to
We
be
get-
Iron Fist to begin with.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we get introduced to Peter.
Peter Pan.
No, just Peter.
Oh,
Although
you mean Charlie?
although we thought his name should have been Charlie or Bryce.
You're mistaken. It's Charlie.
What's your superpower?
Don't have one. Unless you want to go with the diabetes answer.
He's in.
He's in. You're in.
This is not fun radio. See,
No.
the fire has been gone. Ryan's fault.
The trailer needed more cable.
More cable?
It is a cable trailer.
Yes.
I did love the DC dig in the
Yeah.
second trailer. That was awesome. That was fantastic.
It's not like we're trying to get rid of a mustache.
Not,
Well, I mean,
not just that one, too.
they were doing digs all over the place in
Yep.
these trailers, and yeah.
Bring it on, One Eye Willie.
This is horrible. Let's move on. We're going to talk about when the movie's on.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is very,
That wasn't
very
even
soon.
that wasn't even worth sending Bryce outside.
It
for.
No,
really
no.
wasn't. It really wasn't. First of all, I don't know if I got a bigger hard-on for Cable or Domino. It's somewhere in between the two. And second of all,
This is where it
you
makes for
fucked
great
this
radio.
up because 2 weeks ago my excitement was here, and then you just made me get annoyed at you.
A week in 2 days.
So you're saying your excitement is flaccid and unused?
Okay.
I got
just
tickets
mad
to
at
the
Ryan.
double feature.
All right. I guess go get Bryce.
Nah.
Is there a bunch of X-Men books we can talk about before he comes in?
No, that's fine. We'll move on. to
So
some questions then.
Extreme X-Men number 3 has been really good lately. That is the last X-Men book I was reading.
Extreme X-Men.
Yeah. It's from my time when I was still at Legends.
Oh, jeez. This is the last time you read an X book.
Yeah, that's the last X book I read.
All right, let's move on to some
You have
questions
not
here.
read Hunt for Wolverine.
No.
You need to.
Really?
Well, first you need to read Death of Wolverine, and then you need to read.
I
Hunt
read
for
Death.
You need to read Hunt for Wolverine.
Really? Bryce, have you read
He hasn't read it.
The Hunt of Wolverine?
I have a peculiar living situation right now that is
No comics needed?
inhibiting, much to my detriment, my comic reading capacity.
I know what it is.
Well,
Does it-
don't talk about it here.
Okay.
So thank you for knowing, you smart man.
I am smart.
So we have some questions.
Good boy.
First one for Cross-X Hunter. Oh, I can't wait to talk
By the
about
way, you
this.
really didn't miss much. We did a horrible job hyping this.
Yeah,
trailer
they talked about it for like 30 seconds, and they're like, I guess we're done. Okay.
Yeah, no, because we should have talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Toby is-
Oh, this podcast without me? Horrible? Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds about
Toby
right.
is more hyped to be not excited for the trailer
What?
than he is hyped about the trailer.
He's hyped about being upset with Ryan for not letting him talk about the trailer than he is for talking about the trailer.
Yeah, because it has fizzled.
It sounds like the hub is at the bottom of this.
It's always the hub.
CrossX Hunter on Twitter asks, how excited are you guys for that Comic Gate comic?
What?
Are you going to order more copies than Needed Action Comics 1000?
Wait, just repeat the comic what?
How excited are you guys for that Comic Gate comic?
What are you talking about?
Bryce,
Did he respond to my tweet?
I don't think he did. Okay, so let's get into this. We talked about some various times in the past about Gamergate and the comic book equivalent of this. We have the Make Mine Milkshake hashtag that went around.
But that was a positive thing, right?
Well, it was a positive thing out of a negative thing. Yeah. Comic Gate is a group of
Are you dealing with these ass wipes again?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I
Yeah.
like to hear about this.
Sexist and racist and homophobic and transphobic
Not diverse in any
comic.
way.
when
Comic
did this happen
fans,
today?
quote unquote comic
I haven't
fans.
heard about this at all.
Well, this specifically is he's talking about a couple of these guys. So it's the guy that runs a Diversity in Comics blog and YouTube video.
Not diverse at all.
John Mallon, who was formerly of Marvel Comics, an artist on Thunderbolts and Cable, who was I think asked to not return to Marvel.
I think you meant the clone of Cable.
And
it's totally not.
That shitty Rob Liefeld.
I heard Cable.
That
Wait.
shitty Rob Liefeld clone.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy. What?
Yeah,
What?
so he's an
racist?
all right asshole. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and so
it was so good. I liked that Cable.
Nah.
The Newer Mutants story arc.
yeah, he did that run on Thunderbolts too.
I don't know that one, but I liked his arc on Cable.
And then
This is why
Ethan Van
Twitter should not
Sciver,
exist.
and then Ethan Van Sciver is doing variant covers for this book. It is a book that is on Indiegogo right now, and hopefully will not. I mean, it is funded by a tremendous amount, but my hope is that it's either all fake funds or doesn't actually end up getting
Well, what I
funded. I hope Indiegogo shuts it down.
Well, what I like is they haven't announced the publisher yet, and I'm waiting for them to announce the publisher, and that publisher being ostracized by everybody.
Well,
in the
yeah.
industry.
So this was a comic that they're
Wouldn't
going
they
to
just print it themselves? Why would they need a publisher?
This is a comic they're publishing through Indiegogo, but apparently they also have now have the backing of a publisher, which, as of this recording, we do not know. But apparently, we're going to find out tomorrow. So maybe I have more info
There's a
on that next
publisher
week.
that just started existing as of yesterday?
Who knows, right? I mean,
Well, it
if
depends on how much money they're making. They can self-publish it depending on how much money they make.
They are going to self-publish it, but they now have a publisher as well. So
So what is this book actually about?
I mean, it's a shitty X-Men ripoff.
Is it like
Whoa,
the,
whoa!
is
There is no such thing.
Wait, is
as-
Liefeld actually involved too, or is he
No.
doing the Liefeld impersonation?
No, it's
completely.
it's the guy that does the Liefeld ripoff comic.
So he's also
He's the artist.
doing Liefeld in real life, as in doing the fake Avengers and the fake whatever.
right.
X Patrol,
Yeah, what a fighting American was, and whatever.
Yeah,
Extreme Studios.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So
The
I mean,
last two issues.
we don't know who this publisher is, but
And multiple covers.
I really hope they
Is the publisher Awesome Comics?
well, yeah,
Or Extreme Comics?
Right, I don't know who the publisher is going to be, but yeah, I can't imagine it's anyone. Of
Wait,
any
who's that
prestige,
publisher
so.
that tried to get you to get a whole bunch of stuff a few years ago?
I mean, there's been a few. There's been a few that have done it. Some publisher recently, their quote unquote assistant reached out to all these comic stores and tried to order their comic through them, and everyone got the same like form email about like, hey, can I please order this? I want to order a copy of Action Comics 1000 as well as this shitty comic. Can you send this to me? And like, it was the comic company trying to get stores to order their comic for this fake customer. Which, yeah, good luck with that. You never forget that when you pull that shit. So, yeah, no.
Maybe it's
Cross
that
X Hunter.
publisher.
So I have never, to the best of my knowledge, I have never refused to order a product for someone. This will be it. If I get any pre-orders for this, I'm not going to fill them. I will
want
not
it.
order them. I mean, go on Indiegogo. It's up there for a little bit.
There's a part of me that's wondering if a publisher bought the rights to publish it just to refuse to publish it.
I don't know.
Well,
I'd be
for
very
like
curious.
some smaller publishers, maybe it's a bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity type
Right,
of thing.
right.
Like if you're low enough on the totem pole, this can only bring you some sort of notoriety.
Yeah.
But it's just going to bring you a short gain. It's not going to gain you anything.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that seems like something that marketing people have never learned, because that's not how it works.
which is how it shouldn't work.
Good point.
Tyler asks, for quote-unquote big deal comics, you often either give them away or reduce the price a large amount. Recently, Mr. Miracle, DC Rebirth, Marvel Legacy. Do you see large returns in doing this? Is anything not given the results you want? I mean, I'm very picky with it. Mr. Miracle blew me away, and I knew the book would.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to read in advance.
Yeah.
Copy.
And I knew it wouldn't just sell off the shelf, and so I said I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and offer this just free to everyone that gets Batman, and almost no one refused it. Mm-hmm. Things like DC Rebirth, again, the price point was so low that we could just literally give the book away. And for a $1 investment, we got people to sign up for, at this point, hundreds of comic books. Yeah. Now, many of them would have signed up for a lot of those anyway, but just to build that excitement, bless you. But just to build that excitement, it's always good to do this. Marvel Legacy, we had one customer specific, but we had a number of customers that wanted to go big on the variant covers, and so the variant covers paid for everything. Just like the Avengers comic that came out this week, we went way bigger than we normally would have because of the extra discounts and variant covers paid for the entire thing. So it's kind of at this point we just have extra copies.
Yeah.
We made all the money. We made more money than we would have, and all these extra ones to sell is just bonus.
The way I've kind of sort of chimed in on this, just because I've heard of other stores doing similar things, a lot of it just has to do with if you have faith that what you're doing will bring somebody back for the 2, 3, etc. It always makes sense to do it. There are certain stores that have always sort of like slashed the price of the volume 1 of long running trades and that kind of stuff, just to practically giving away a cost, knowing that if they can get them started, they'll come back for the volume 2, 3, etc. at full price.
I probably would have sold 20 or 30 copies of Mr. Miracle, but it gave away 100, and now I sell 100, right? So I'm making way more money in the long term on 11 of those 12 issues.
And a lot of those people are going, I want both covers.
Yeah, and that's why it's selling so many. Yeah, I don't think anything has not resulted in what I want. It's hard to tell because either we've made the money already, or.
Well, I think something like I think Legacy was the hiccup. Like it was paid for.
Yeah, so that's
fine.
But
it didn't really. I mean, it was given to people, but I don't think it had the turnaround necessarily that Mr. Miracle did or DC.
If Legacy came out 2 weeks ago, it would have been huge, going right into Avengers and everything. That was their mistake, is that they had all this stuff sitting there and they didn't do any of it. Yeah. The Return of Wolverine going into Avengers, that was their mistake with Legacy. But now we're reaping it, so we're seeing those benefits. Yeah, but I mean, if something has not happened when I've done a deal like that, I mean, I don't do it if I don't think it's going to work. Right? I don't think it's ever not worked.
Well, did you give? What did you do with the Oblivion song? Did you give it to people who got Robert Kirkman's like Walking Dead and Invincible?
Yeah. I mean, I gave Oblivion song to everyone that got Walking Dead. Which again, we don't sell as many copies of Walking Dead, I think, as some other stores. So for me, it wasn't. I mean, I went huge on it, just figuring, hey, I'll have this Robert Kirkman #1 sitting around forever. That's fine. Like we keep selling them. Yeah. But I don't. I didn't do anything special with that other than just order a lot.
You got a pink signature out of it.
I did. Yeah.
Did we talk about Free Comic Book Day?
No, not really. Actually, yeah, I should talk about Free Comic Day.
I was surprised. I thought we did really well. No, we were here from about 9 a.m. on Saturday all the way up until about 7:30 that night. And what we say, about 5,000 comics we gave away?
Yeah.
We were busy all day long.
It was crazy.
It was insane. But it was fun.
Yeah. It was fun. First time at the new location, too. So we had tent outside, and we got to put all the free stuff outside.
We definitely had a lot more people this year than we've had in previous years, but I think that this year was it was spread out. Like we had the line for a few hours, but it wasn't huge. But then it was like a constant stream of people for most of the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, at the most, we had probably about 30, 40 people in line when we first opened, and that stayed for about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. There was always a good line of 10, 20 people. And then, and it wasn't like everyone grabbed their books and left. I mean, the vast majority of people then also came into the shop and bought something.
We had a line. We had a line like an hour before we even opened. You did a raffle.
Yep.
That was really cool. We did some trivia and gave away some stuff. Gave away some stuff and
some gift cards and a signed print from Sony.
It was constant traffic all day long.
Yeah,
all the way up till.
Literally, 20 minutes after closing, we still had people that were coming in.
A lot of people were just hanging out too afterwards.
Yeah,
they got the free books.
Well, a lot of the regulars, but some normals were around too.
Some non-regulars were hanging out too.
Well, you also had the people that were hopping from store to store to store to try and get all of the.
Of course,
all the ones going on.
Yeah,
I saw some coworkers I did not know were into comics. We had different conversations today at work, so yeah, it was interesting.
You know who wasn't at Free Comic Day? That's Bryce, because he forgot.
That's right. Bryce.
Oh, how dare you!
You forgot. How do you forget Free Comic Day?
I just went to every other comic book store in the Bay Area's Free Comic Book Day, and not Higgins, because he loves DC stuff. No, just kidding.
He knew Higgins wouldn't order any Marvel free comics.
Yeah,
therefore he went to all the other stores.
Did you not order any Marvel free comics? That sounds like Toby bullshit. That sounds like Toby bullshit. Yeah, I have no good excuse. I told the guys it was about Sunday afternoon, and I was sitting outside having a barbecue with my in-laws and my kids, and I said, "Oh!"
And reality struck.
Yesterday was Free Comic Book Day. Oh, man, we went to Happy Hollow. We were busy all weekend. I played soccer. We went to the Earthquakes game.
But no free comics.
So my life is not complete.
In our new location.
I don't know.
I didn't come to Free Comic Book Day either, so.
Oh,
but
Charlie,
they don't give me shit about it. They only give you shit about it.
You are definitely the number 2 comics conspiracy fan. I am the number 1. You didn't come, but I thought about coming. That makes me the number 1 fan, right?
Makes me the number 1 cable fan because you fools didn't show up. Not really.
You guys aren't even close. You're not even in the running.
A serious question from Alex. It says, with Marvel bringing back Wolverine, do you think they could end up phasing out Old Man Logan sooner or later after the inevitable team up between the two?
Yeah, the answer is, when does Old Man Logan stop selling? There's your answer. That is when they will phase him out. Just when he starts to dip, they'll give him one last hurrah, and they'll have a big event book that sends him back, or kills him.
We'll have the death of Old Man Logan.
Well, no, I'm actually just wondering, with all this talk about the kids going away and that kind of stuff, I could see them wanting to revert things back to a more, and that doesn't mean the book goes away, but it may just be that the book goes back to his own timeline or something like that until sales drop.
I got it.
Okay.
You ready?
What is the thing?
After the hunt for Wolverine and we get through all this stuff, Old Man Logan basically leads a team of the younger Wolverine type characters.
Okay.
And it's called the Pack.
Could it be called Wolverines?
It's called Wolverine and the Wolverines.
It's called Wolverine and the X-Men.
And it will sell more than an Action Comics 1000.
I will kill myself.
You heard it here, people.
They will ask for advice from Sugar Man.
Anyone reading Iron Man? I'm not caught up on Iron Man. I know something has happened in Iron Man, and I don't
Iron Man
know
still
what it
coming
is.
out?
Until I moved, I was all caught up on Iron Man, and it's been great. But I admit that I am 2 or 3 months behind.
Okay,
but
Charlie,
it
are
was
you caught
great.
up on Iron Man?
No, I'm behind.
What?
With 600
Iron Man confirmed.
600's coming up.
Iron fan.
The last issue of Bendis's run. So Stephanie asked Bryce, "What do you think about the new twist in Iron Man?" But
Stephanie, here's the answer. Stephanie, is that I don't like to lie to our fans. That I'm going to leave to Charlie and Higgins. What I will say is that. If I weren't in this precarious living situation, I would be all cut up and I would answer your question, and the answer would be that I love it because Marvel is better than DC and Iron Man is awesome.
You know,
bullshit.
What are you like? What are you like? Living on like the edge of a building or something? Like some precarious living situation?
As far as you know,
it's a glass house.
You know, my reading on Sundays has gone way down because Ryan's actually been keeping me busy.
It's Ryan's fault.
You have to work at work? Oh, Charlie. Oh, look at my crocodile tears. Oh, go ahead and bite my finger. Yeah. So,
or should I blame Comic Hub and then you guys will be like on my side?
Love the hub.
No, hate it.
Hate the hub. Love the hub.
No, what
I'm
Charlie's
actually
saying
totally
is
neutral on
thank
the
you for
hub.
using the hub. Please place your orders on Saturday, not Sunday.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just with the online store up now, I had a bunch of merchandise to put through to make sure it would show up on the online store.
We're loading the inventory.
Yep.
I will say, without
which was
having
somewhat
read it,
satisfying.
and without knowing what the twist is, I'll give the Bryce primer for spoilers.
But it's a Bendis twist. So.
Twists that I love versus twists that I hate. I love twists that are, and this is going to sound obvious,
Red
but
vines?
like so many people do it. What would you say that made Brock chortle? It made Brock chortle. It must be hilarious.
Laugh too.
Made Brock
I'm not sure if Higgins
What?
is chortling as much as he's just ashamed
fuck is
to be at this
twirling?
table.
As you're
What?
talking about all the twists you love, I said red vines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm not following.
You guys are such losers.
So Toby's a Twizzler guy?
Okay, anyway.
I'm so lost at this point.
I love twists that are sort of natural and congruent, or is it congruous or is it congruent? It's one of those two. I'm pretty
Wait,
sure.
when you say it's a Bendis twist, what do you mean by that?
And so
I just said it's Bendis, so
When
Bryce,
the-
maybe
when the twists come naturally and it
Tony-
feels
Tony-
like it developed out of the story, I love those twists. The twists that I do not like at all are when any writer takes some fundamental element of the character and just like
a big chunk of Bendis' Iron Man has been bringing back his parents, which I'm like, meh.
yeah.
So did he
I
just
don't
like find
that.
out he's gay?
Don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not the twist.
I didn't like the Iceman twist to that exact example. Like when he all of a sudden had adopted parents and he has a brother or something. I didn't read it, but
Wasn't Tony also like a teenager in The Crossing?
Okay, nobody knows. Higgins just had to turn off his mic.
Am I having like a fever like dream or something? Like what? Yes, The Crossing. Yes, 30 years ago he was a teenager. Yes.
Oh, who's that?
Toby, go fuck yourself. Go watch your TV show.
Wait.
You're literally watching the Warriors game. Go back to watching it.
I know, but I couldn't.
Tyler, our good friend Tyler.
Oh my god. Anyway, the point
friend
is
Tyler
that
Willits.
there are some. Wait, before you get to
Tyler.
which is a good question. I just want to finish, and I promise to be brief. Hashtag. That there are some twists in comics that are lazily written, and they're just like, oh, what if Spider-Man has been a clone all this time and he never loved Mary Jane? Like shit that changes the fundamental shit that you grew up with these comic book characters. Fuck that shit. I like the more natural storyline twist that some writers are much better at. That's a very much abridged version that I could develop into a more proper thesis if there's sufficient interest. But currently, there is not. And Higgins has given me the eye, and that's not the look of love, which
Stink eye.
he usually gives.
Tyler asks, you have an arm wrestling contest between Cable,
And me and Greg Capullo.
Winter Soldier,
Oh, I knew that was coming.
and Thor, the current golden arm Thor. Who beats you in a fake arm wrestling contest?
So wait.
Thor wins
Yeah.
all.
No,
No.
It's
Cable
easily
wins
Cable.
all.
Because they all have their fake arms.
No,
I'm going to get that arm.
no, you guys are all wrong. It's
That
Rocket
was-
Raccoon that wins it all
I was-
because he gets all the broken arms
I was going
afterwards.
to say, as annoying as the Guardians have become, that was one of my favorite lines in Avengers. I'm going to get that arm.
That was a great line. I'm waiting for like some sort of statue to come out with that pose of Winter Soldier holding Rocket.
See, what happens if you're like anywhere else in that field? They were just shooting indiscriminately in this giant circle.
It doesn't matter. It was so badass that it like superheroes are impervious to badassness from other superheroes, and only the Chitauri dogs got it.
It's a hero click ability, impervious to
Dude,
badassness.
there will literally be a hero click of that exact sculpt,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I will lament falling off the wagon
playing
on hero
anymore.
clicks. That
Well-
was so awesome.
If Rocket does end up with the arm and Thor does lose his arm on one day, you know who's getting the arm.
That was parallel to Rocket's also other comment. Oh, you should have wiped that off. I had
Yeah.
to smuggle it out my.
That was hilarious. I also want to know what the fuck in Infinity War, like they show up to White Wolf aka Winter Soldier, with his arm in a suitcase. So what happens, like, when they dropped him off? Were they just like, here's the brainwashed Winter Soldier. By the way, we're going to borrow this. We know that you need to wipe your ass, and this is your right arm, but we're going to have you learn how to do that.
It's his left arm, right?
Okay, well, it's for effect. I was wrong. Whatever. Okay, so
stage
we know that
stage
you
right,
wipe
stage
your
left.
ass with your right arm, but you eat with your left arm, but you don't need to eat properly. So we're going to have...
with your arm?
We're going to have... What the fuck is wrong with you? You eat with your hand, which is attached to your arm, you crazy mutant motherfucker. So
They weren't going to give him back his arm until his brainwashing was wiped.
His brainwashing was wiped. So my point is that at what point were they like, we're just going to borrow this arm, we're going to put it in a suitcase, have you live in a hut down by the river?
Didn't it get like virtually destroyed in Civil War? And like they had to repair it.
Did they take it off before they got into Wakanda?
It was not taken off. It was blown off by Iron Man in Civil War.
That's fake news.
Oh, my God.
Either way, there's a period of time when he came out of stasis that we don't know what he was doing.
Maybe he didn't want to wear the arm.
Look,
maybe he wanted to be armless for a while.
The fucking point. The point is, at
Who
some
the fuck
point,
cares is the point.
At some point, the Wakandans were like, look, we repaired this arm in like 1 hour because we're Wakandans and you can all go fuck yourselves. But we're going to put it in a suitcase and not give it back to the White Wolf. We're just going to keep it in the suitcase under our desk until the fucking Infinity War starts, in which case we'll go down to the river and give it to the White Wolf and be like, oh, it's time now. You want your second arm back. He's like, motherfuckers, I needed
When
my
he
second
had
arm
the second arm, the
You really
only
think
person that
Bucky
could
needed
stop
a
him,
second arm.
the only person who could stop him was Spider-Man.
That's Charlie and Jim talking over each other.
That's okay.
Stop talking. Look, the point is, everybody needs a second arm. Give the fucking man his second arm back. What are you keeping in? What good is it doing in a suitcase? Nobody needs it in a suitcase. He needs
You know
it.
why it's in a suitcase?
Oh
Because
God,
the
I can't wait
collector
for this.
had it.
You know why?
Why?
Because otherwise Rocket would have gotten it.
Rocket wasn't even there. It's not funny, Brock.
You don't know that.
It
I'm
didn't
just
work.
busy going, does it really matter? If he
it did not work.
wanted another arm, then you might have a point. But
Look,
he's a
if any
fictional
man
character
or woman has one arm versus two arms, if you have one arm, don't you want a second arm? If you have the capacity for a second arm, if you've been used to having a second arm,
This sounds like a great Twitter thread.
what if you had a third
depending
arm?
on if he's trying to
I
just
have a third arm.
live a much more low-key
more like a third
life
leg.
and all that,
Low-key
Yeah.
life?
he may wanted to leave it all behind, which he obviously was. He was not exactly
no,
living
he knew
the
he
Winter
would be
Soldier
called,
life.
No, he knew he would be called up to the big leagues again. He knew it. He knew it.
so he's not allowed to enjoy a vacation
Nope.
away from his arm.
Listen to yourself. You're full of shit and you know it. You're lying to yourself this time and you know it. You're giggling at your own joke, which doesn't
Of course
happen to
I
you
am.
much often. Much often, that's new. All right.
Ulysses. Oh, they're coming for you. Ulysses says, I purchased my first...
that's the joke please coming for Brock, by the way, in case you heard the sirens.
I purchased my first IDW Artist Edition for Daredevil Born Again,
Nice.
and I'd say it was worth it. I'm going to buy the Batman Dark Knight Gallery Edition and Daredevil Man Without Fear. Any of you purchase one of those Artist Editions?
Is that those humongous hardcover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, and I have a lot to say about it, but after Charlie, because I'm a polite gentleman.
The Artist Editions
I was just going
are...
to say, I've been tempted by quite a few of them, but I have not actually bit the bullet on any of them.
But they're your size.
They are
I know, and there's a couple that are amazing that I would absolutely love to have, but they're coffee table books for me, basically.
Exactly where I was going to go with this question. They are coffee table books, and first of all...
But hold on, real quick. The Artist Edition, for people who don't know what they are full-size scans of original comic book art, generally complete stories, or as much as they can get of them. No digitizing, no touch-ups, no nothing. They're just a full scan of the comic and then put into a book format. So
Basically, you look at the original work.
yeah, with mistakes and ink,
Coffee stains.
coffee stains, sure, lettering,
stains sometimes.
lettering posts, like all sorts of weird stuff on
You
there
get
that
the
you wouldn't
Witchblade
see in the
Artist
finished
Edition.
art. So
I did pick up the original art edition of Alien Illustrated, which was the first Alien graphic novel, but also included in that original art edition was a one of a kind sketch of an alien warrior by Walt Simonson and signed.
That's pretty badass.
That's pretty, yeah.
How were you able to fit your dick back in your pants after that?
It was tough, but it happened.
All right, so my problem is a couple things. So I have 3 of them, and
and none of them are opened.
They are all opened, and I've looked at all of them. The quote-unquote problem, I will say, is that in their awesomeness, they, like Charlie said, like in the First Time Not Lying This podcast episode. Just kidding, bro. They are so beautiful and sexy, except that, like, what the fuck do you do with them? Like, they're giant art books, and unless you have multiple coffee tables in your house, first of all, go fuck yourself. But, like, what are you going to do with them? You put them out on your coffee table. How often do you look at them? Like, you're not reading them. They are, don't get me wrong, they are awesome to look at. And then you look at them and you're kind of like, okay, well, that was cool. And you put them back on the coffee table and they look really nice.
It's an art book. I mean, it's for looking at.
So if you're into art books, definitely get them. I don't regret any of the 3 that I got. It's just, I don't have anywhere to put them, and I don't have a multitude of coffee tables. Is that even
Is it a size of a whole trade, or is it a size of just one comic?
No, they're so.
No.
It's the thickness of a graphic novel, but it's like probably 1.5 times as tall and 1.5 times as wide.
Well, I know how big they are because it's based on the original boards.
Okay, then what is your fucking question?
No, I was just wondering if it was just one single issue or if it was a full storyline.
No, it's just a single issue.
No.
It is so. It
no,
is
no,
just
no,
a
it's not.
single
No.
Depends on which one you buy.
There's extras in there.
Exactly. Charlie is right for the second time this episode. It depends on which one you get. It is several issues. It tells a short story, so it's a small arc. But it also depends on which one you get. Some are bigger than others. I am an example of the biggest one at this table.
I kind of figured you were going to say that. Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah. Oh, wait, are we still talking about artist editions?
I pre-ordered the Jim Lee one that they're coming out with.
That is incredible. Jim Lee, which one? Alpha Flight, I assume.
No, it's like just random stuff of his, I think.
Oh. I was joking about Alpha Flight, but nobody laughed, which is typical of all my jokes ever. Thanks, my wife.
Any more questions?
Got 2 more here.
Yes.
One from Jeremy. He says, what sells better, Avengers #1 from last week or Venom #1 that starts this week? Donnie
What?
First, Jason Aaron.
Is that even a question?
So here's the thing. Let me tell you the thing. Venom does not sell well here. It has never sold well here. I don't know what's up.
I know what's up. It's a Marvel book, and you shunned those Marvel books. You're like, put them in a dark corner going, they don't exist.
We sold a ton of Avengers #1. I've never been successful with the Venom books here. We just don't have an audience for it. So I ordered definitely more than I traditionally do of Venom because
we're successful selling back issues of Venom.
Yeah, kind of occasionally. It's like Spawn. People randomly wander in and grab a bunch of back issues. But yeah, the main Avengers book, I think like even recently had like 1 subscriber to it. So we'll see.
Or Avengers?
Venom.
Okay, because you said Avengers.
You said Avengers.
Oh, sorry, Venom. I mean, I had like 1 subscriber to it. I ordered a definitely decent amount of Venom. I'm sure because the #1 by Donny Cates will sell a bunch of them, and there's some hype behind it. But by issue 3 or 4, I'll be down to almost nothing. I mean, it's just we just have never had any ability to sell Venom comics. It's really weird. I don't know why. Finally, one last question. This is for Bryce and Charlie. And maybe Jim too.
I'm the #1 Cable fan, if that's the question.
Tim asks, what is the definitive cable run for someone jumping back into the character?
I swear to God, we've answered this question like 7 times.
Well, because of the with the movie coming up, right?
Okay,
if you want to, if you want to get like a definitive cable run, what's your give a couple suggestions?
Charlie, I'll defer to you. You can go first. I'll be nice.
Yeah, first is the worst. Go ahead, Charlie. Nice try, troll Jim.
So, realistically, if you're looking at more modern comics, it kind of goes to like Second Coming, Messiah stuff. If you're looking for more sort of classic stuff, I go all the way back to sort of those early issues in New Mutants, to X-Force, to when they launched his solo series.
Yeah, it was Blood and Metal, in case you didn't know, Charlie.
Well, that was the mini series before they launched his solo series.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Is that not what you're talking about? I thought that's what you were talking about.
While they're done stroking each other,
Executioner song.
There's an X-Force. There's an X-Force omnibus.
You meant his ongoing run that went on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was also awesome.
Yeah. Executioner's Song is one of my personal highlights. I love that one.
Was so good.
Was Soldier X any good?
No. But they're coming out with an omnibus that I ordered anyways. But
No, don't do that.
Number one cable fan.
A real cable fan wouldn't do that, Brock, to correct you. Confirm Bryce is the number one cable fan.
That being said, there was some stuff around Apocalypse the 12, which they filled in some of like his backstory with Apocalypse, which wasn't the best stuff, but what did sort of reshape their relationship from then on.
Dude, but you got to mention the Olivetti. The Ariel Olivetti run. I know that he was the artist, not the writer,
you can mention that.
like,
I'm not an art guy. I don't pay
Bryce.
attention to the artist most of the time.
well, I don't remember.
Art Slam.
Jim is oddly like super excited right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Jim is like the faux cable number 3 fan. He like loves to pretend to throw shade at me and Charlie. and
that's
like,
just amazing that you guys have not even hit his beginnings. So keep on going.
okay, well,
You're talking about the Cyclops and Phoenix beginnings, or are you talking about like when he was a baby and taken to the future? Or
You can go either way.
if you are trying to out nerd Charlie, you are in bad company.
you know,
my
we're
friend.
still waiting for your answer, Bryce.
So the what is the exact verbiage of the question so I can get it exactly right? Unlike
he's
Jim?
looking for runs or stories featuring Cable to prime on before the movie comes out.
If you want a badass story before the movie comes out, I would say go to the Second Coming Messiah Complex stuff. I mean, like the oldest stuff is like classic Cable, but I don't know obviously, but I don't think that's what they're going to give us with the movie. I think that they're going to give us some like time traveling but relatively modern current Cable character. They are going to not give us some like hard ass, I'm like willing to kill anybody time traveler that he sort of was in the beginning, steeped in mythology.
And if you really want to play with sort of the Cable Deadpool dynamic, you can either go way back to like the New Mutants X-Force time, or you can pick up just the Cable Deadpool comic before they changed it to Deadpool Cable for the omnibus.
Yeah, that's a great call. Yeah. Charlie is right for the third time. There was a very long-running, successful Cable Deadpool run that later became a Deadpool Cable run that was actually a really good story and perfectly encapsulated what probably this movie is going to pull out, which is that Cable's this no-nonsense, time-traveling badass, and Deadpool's just like this fucking mercenary joker. And that's probably what they'll pull a lot from. So that actually, if you're looking for like a story with Cable in it to get ready for the movie, that's like sort of ironically, not really ironically, not intuitively, probably the best bet you're going to get is the Cable Deadpool, the Deadpool Cable omnibus or trades that they have out there. Cable has many more great stories, but if you're getting ready for the movie, I mean, that might be your best bet. Especially if you're like looking forward to the Deadpool perspective, if you're going to see a Deadpool movie, which it's not, it's a Cable movie, but you're welcome.
Is that it?
I'll let them have it. That's okay.
Oh, okay, I'll keep going.
I thought Jim had a list.
Oh, I did. Oh, I know.
But if you want Cable,
they can jump in. You had your turn. So if you if you want to go just pure Cable, you want to go with Cable Classic. Start on. You can start in from 1 and go for the New Mutants 87 up through 100. At which point it goes into X-Force 1. You are going to see.
I already covered those.
You're going to see X-Force in the
He
movie.
did already
so
cover them,
it will
Jim.
cover other characters besides Cable. And through the New Mutants 87 all the way up through the X-Force, about 10, 15 or so. I also dive into what Bryce was talking about and Charlie about the Cable Deadpool / Deadpool Cable books. Probably like the first dozen books or so. If you want some backstories, the Cable ongoing series was very good. But I don't think that would apply for the Cable movie either. Charlie and Bryce pretty much had it covered, so it's good.
That was an awful lot of shade being thrown at us during.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy you finally got something right.
Whoa. All right. On that, we're going to wrap up.
We're going to wrap up on that one. I like that.
It's the end of the month. It's the beginning of the month.
It's good to end on a down note so that we can start strong next time.
Even though it's our second podcast of the month, it was just past Patreon, so not everything had gone through yet. So we got Patreon. I'm gonna read the big guys. Bryce, do you wanna read our thanks for the month?
I do.
Well, let me get through. Our good friends Albert Soy has an app called Canby, which you can jump on.
I think it should be a Bryce Toby team up.
Podcast can't handle that. Can't handle that.
Toby, you wanna team up with Bryce to say the names?
No, it's fine. Julian Titus has the Nerds of the Pants podcast.
He's the enemy. Ryan's the enemy. It's not only the hub, it's Ryan also.
He missed his Nerds of the Pants shout out. Toby. That was the saddest. The saddest no pants ever.
There was
no pants.
There was no enthusiasm.
Ryan Hess has Blowhards. It's a video game podcast. That's at blowhards.libsyn.com. Jody Lawson is Canon, the Triad Comics Anthology, which is at triadcomicstudios.com. Don't forget our good friends Sam Che, Craig Anderson, Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez, and Darfox8 over at the Manga Machinations podcast, as well as our brand new backer, Larry Davis. He didn't necessarily want to plug, but I told him I'd do it anyway, and that is for his podcast called Stand and Deliver. It's a podcast about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I bet one person in his room knows what that is.
I know.
Okay, and you're the one.
And
you're the one.
No, Charlie knows.
I know.
I actually watches it.
I know Charlie knows. I figured you heard of it at least. Yeah. If you like your JoJo's,
do you know if Manga Machination fixed their YouTube shit?
I don't know. I haven't heard back from them yet. Yeah, they got their YouTube channel pulled for some weird reason.
They got fucked in the butt.
Okay,
wow. YouTube.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there.
Apparently
it really
they
sucks.
had no pants.
So yeah, go check out Stand and Deliver. I'm assuming that's on podcast app stuff. He didn't tell me. I'm assuming it's on iTunes. They're all on iTunes.
They're all on Libsyn, apparently.
Yeah, liberated syndication. Bryce, if you want to start with Dennis Janssen and read down till you get to the break.
Dennis Janssen.
Oh, my ear.
Dennis Janssen, what up, motherfucker? I know that that's not Dutch, but that's the closest I can get. Thanks a lot to everybody. In addition, Alex McHale, Matthew Schnapp, David Barlodi, thank you very much. Don Kilson, Mark Short. Nope, sorry, Mark Long. I bet you haven't heard that ever. Michael Zakovec. Is that your real last name, Michael? That sounds crazy to me. Ivan Liskanik. Ivan, it's been too long since you trolled me. What is going on? Have I just been too well behaved? Probably not. Who else do we got here? Brian Murawski. Brian Murawski. Thank you very much. Samurai Godzilla. Is that really your surname, Samurai? I call shenanigans. Miles Gakula. Rich Guerrera. Bryce Larsen quotes. What a handsome gentleman that must be. Oh, he's paying us so much. It definitely is not a sock puppet account of mine. Paula Schultz, thank you so much.
So you're telling us you have sock puppet accounts?
Oh, many, many, many. Including Brock Sager, whatever yours is. What is yours?
Don't forget Sugarman Rules.
Sugarman Rules. Mark Smith, thank you very much. Joseph Rodriguez, thank you very much. Keith Amaral, keep it real, my man. Oh, is that a young Clark Kent icon? Okay, I like that. Superboy is what I meant. JT Quinn, what is your last name? Jack Ildefonso, thank you very much, Jack. Christopher Noyes, Revenge of the Sixth was better than May the Fourth be with you. That's all I got. Kevin Nguyen, thank you very much. David Safar, Identity Stunt the Comic. J.K. Hachad. One of those is some part of your name. I'm not sure. PJ Ryder, thank you very much. Tyler Willits, what a handsome gentleman you are. Rob Ben Dixon. That name is not too complicated. I'm not sure why it was so difficult for me. Travis Fleischman, Mason Barber, thank you both very much. Anirban Banerjee, thank you very much. Anirban, much appreciated. Robert Lane, Mike G. What a G. Christopher Stone, Thad Gutshall. Yes, Thad. We're going with Thad. Thad Gutshall. Thank you very much, Thad. I'm hoping it's not like Tad or some other pronunciation. Sit Comics, Mr. Henry, thank you very much. Timothy at... I shouldn't actually read their emails, huh? Okay. Okay, Sit Comics, thank you very much. Timothy, thank you very much. Chris Lockhart, I'm going to stop saying thank you to every single person. I thank you all equally in accordance with how much you love Marvel, especially Chris Lockhart, Aaron Wright, Father Dante, Garen Dunbar, Brian Wilson, Nick Harrison, Chris Palaki, Kevin Ellis, Chris Olivas, Wally Ansari, related to Aziz, I'm certain, Nick Zappas, Mario Miranda, Dominic Arlsman, Arlsman, Chris Kim, Chris Bunch, Gordon McKenzie. Higgins' two-finger scrolling is inverted on his laptop. He's definitely from Australia. J.R. Bernack, Greg Lindsay, Stephen Hayden, Edgar Moreno, Andrew Kustieri, always playing those good video games. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. Thank you to everybody in the tier below as well. We love you all equally, but especially if you love Marvel and my jokes, I love you even more. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much. This is couldn't be done without you guys. We very much appreciate all of the support from everybody. No matter what tier you're at, unless your name is... Who can I pick on? Unless your name is... Where's Craig Anderson? I'm sure we don't appreciate him in some capacity. Yeah, Craig. Yeah, I got no insult for you. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Back to your regularly scheduled Higgins.
Oops. I guess I can continue outroing here now. But by now, I'm sure you've all stopped listening. But that's okay. No, you're fine. Because we also have to tell people to go to to go to comicspiracypodcast.com. It's actually, don't go there, because all it does is take you to geekbox.net right now, because we redid our website. You can rate and review us, please. If you do go to comicsconspiracy.biz, we have our new online storefront up there, where you can purchase comics directly from us. We are still in the process of getting inventory in. We have our Marvel comics. I started with Marvel, Bryce.
Because he's trying to get rid of that stuff.
A lot of our indie books and a lot of our toys and statues. Still a lot of stuff getting on there. You can order comics and pay process right through the website and ships directly into access to our inventory. Mm-hmm. Don't forget the Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net, patreon.com/comicconspiracy is where you can kick us a couple bucks. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz is our digital storefront. You can go and buy some digital comics from us there. Don't forget conspiratorBrock.com. It's Brock's blog and video pull list. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife Leanne's Etsy store. You can buy some buy some prints from her there. And we'll ship them out to you. Or you can buy them here at the store. On Twitter, I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce is Larsen Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is ComicsCon store. And don't forget the Geek Box. Oh, and Jim is LD Exterminator.
And it's the letter D, not the.
LD.
Yeah, I thought it was L the.
Elda the Exterminator? Yeah. Man, Elda is hardcore.
L the Exterminator?
Yeah.
Is it like Vasha Stampede, LV Exterminator?
Yeah.
Listen to Geek Box.
Get that reference.
Charlie gets it.
Charlie's probably going to say he gets it.
You have to normal.
No, he's talking about Trigun.
Yes.
What the fuck is a Trigun?
It's a blonde dude that hangs out in the desert and has lots of guns.
He's got the big.
He's wearing a red trench coat. No, the cross is his buddy.
Yeah,
the buddy carries
the
buddy's
got the big cross gun. Yeah.
Is this a comic or a TV show?
Yes.
Both.
Is it? Oh, it's an anime.
Yeah, it was an anime TV show. Like
he might
15.
Yeah, early aughts.
I can't believe that's considered old now.
Oh,
because older than cartoons I like were
20 years old
then.
Now. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that says about me.
Well, listen to the Geekbox Comedy Button Manga Machinations, where they talk about Trigun, I'm sure, on Manga Machinations at least once. And the Infinite Binge on YouTube. Check those guys out. Wait, yeah, where's Audacity? There we go. We are still recording. Okay, now we're going to stop recording. Thank you, everyone.